Welcome back to another edition of SeanMatthew's podcast. I'm here with my co-host Joe. It's a Saturday night. We're doing a show. We're pretty excited about it. Joe, how you doing today?
Not bad, Shorty. It is Saturday. It's November, and I think we're in some of the most beautiful, for me, the most beautiful weather of the year. Such a great time. October and November, I just love it. How you been, man?
Good, man. I saw a movie today. It was like 2.5 hours long, and it was like a lot of it was subtitles, like a French movie. It was called An Anatomy of a Fall. It was basically about a woman who has a son whose husband dies, and the whole movie's about determining who killed the husband. Like, did he kill himself? Did the wife kill him? Did somebody else kill him? And it was a lot, like I said, it was a lot of subtitles, and it was long as hell. Like, it was almost 3 hours. And it, like, I know critically, like it's really well reviewed, and it's like it's got pretty damn good ratings, and like it was a good movie, but it was just like I was sitting there and I'm like, man, when is this going to end? It was just way too long, and like I just wanted to find out who did it. You know, and it's one of those things like I guess I have such a short attention span from watching so many like these Law and Order episodes and these crime shows where you find out the killer or the bad person within an hour. And this, I'm sitting there for 2.5 hours. Plus, I have to read the subtitles. I was going out of my mind, man. But other than that, man, it's been a good Saturday. I ran today. I did my 3.16 run. You know what that's all about, man.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man. I heard something happened in your parking lot today.
Yeah, it was a little, some little, well, more than a little. It was and I don't even, I don't like getting involved in things, but let's just say one of the patrons here, lost control of their vehicle and plowed into
Well, that's not the craziest
two
part
other
about
vehicles.
it. Isn't the craziest part about it is you said you were about to park in that same spot.
Yeah, when I pull in, I'm a creature of habit, and you know this too. I mean, and that's a lot of people, I guess, you know. And the older you get, the more, I'm a creature of habit. So I park in in one general area of a parking lot. This parking lot is gigantic, but I park in one general area, and I usually park in maybe the third slot, or there's usually maybe one up, like the maybe 5 or 6 slots up, maybe the ninth or 10th slot. Within those two areas, those two little slots are normally where I park. Anyway, I pull it in tonight real quickly. I'll get through this real quickly, and I'm debating whether to pull in. It's 50-50, right? Do I turn to that third one, or do I go up to the ninth? I don't know. And I said, "To hell with it. I'll come right in here and do the third one." And I pull into the third one, and I hear a boom, like I could not believe it. Shook me up. And I just looking around, and sure as hell, all this action happened up around where I would have parked. And I mean, I would have been just pulling in. So I'm just thankful for that. First of all, I'm thankful no one was killed
But you said they
because this
slammed.
vehicle, well, I'm not going to get too much into it, Shawnee, because I don't want to get too, you know what I mean? Because I don't know what's going to happen with that. And, when you have an accident, you have, this or that. So I don't want to get too much
No,
into
they.
that.
You said the guy slammed into the car and like moved people. It was so hard that another car behind that car moved too.
Yeah. So picture your a basic parking lot with two cars nose to nose, right? Parked. Okay, well, picture one of them get hit in the ass end, and that getting hit so hard in the ass end that it drives that car that it's hitting, okay, back about 8 to 10 feet. I mean, it was, I mean, and I don't know I don't know. I mean, like I said to you, the first thing is maybe this Joker was like, on some kind of God knows what he was on. He could have been just bomb drunk, or I don't want to be hasty and make it. I don't know, because sometimes people have medical conditions. I remember there was one time where my brother lived out in South Jersey, but in a rural, like out in the country. I'm not going to give any towns away or anything like that. But he came home one night, and there was a half a car sticking out of his detached garage. It's a detached garage, right? It was out in the and there were tracks and going up and skid marks and like, I don't know if they're skid marks, but tracks going, hit the curb. And anyway, and long story short, there was nobody there. The person left, like fleeing the scene. And it was like, wow, I guess but it turns out that person was a diabetic, and it was legitimate. They left a note, blah, 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 I'm a diabetic. Because the first thing you think of is, oh, sure, you are a diabetic, huh? But you give the benefit of the doubt, and this person had been telling the truth. They were a diabetic, and it was handled in the right way, and everybody was fine. But that it taught me a little lesson because I thought, oh man, that person was probably whatever they were on something or this or that or bomb drunk, and they just wanted to. They saw no one was home, and they saw an opportunity to skedaddle. And it's easy to come back the next day and whatever. But they checked it all out, and everything was legitimate. And you know what? At the end of the day, no one was killed, not even hurt, from what I can tell. And excuse me, there were some people gathering. As I was getting out of my car, there was some people gathering up there. So the situation was under control, and it was just a weird thing, man. Just weird.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, man. We were talking last night. I sent you a link to this thing about this guy named Guy Goma. He went for a job interview at the BBC network. He was supposed to interview to be like a data cleanser, and somehow another guy named Guy was also there, and he was scheduled to go on air to talk about Apple Corp versus Apple Computer legal dispute. This is in 2006. And somehow they grabbed this Guy, who was there to be like the data cleanser, and they put him on live TV. And they're asking him like real serious questions on live TV. And this guy, his English wasn't great, and he was just there for another job. And he was certainly not an expert in this field. But he held his composure and he actually answered the questions. And it turns out it's one of the most viral bloopers in BBC history. But I was dying laughing when I saw this, man. I was just like, imagine that actually happening. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and you see the thing, and you know the gentleman is very educated and very good at what he does. He's very, probably got a technical background that's really pristine and admirable and all that kind of stuff. But his English wasn't so great. It was obvious that maybe he was here from, I don't know. My guess would be like Trinidad or maybe Nigeria or somewhere like that, Sierra Leone. I don't know. But it was an accent involved and this and that. And it had him labeled. If you've ever seen an interview on TV, you'll see the person speaking and you'll see right underneath, but it had him labeled as some kind of an expert in an area in which he was not. Okay. And this lady kept asking him questions, and between his accent being a little off and him probably wondering, lady, what the fuck are you talking about? I came here for a job interview. What are you telling? So between all those things, it was funny, but I felt for the poor bastard. I really felt for him. And at the end of the day, it turns out that he's, and my thing is, how can you run a television network? How can you run any kind of a television or radio network and have this get by you? You know what I mean? How the hell can you let something like this get by you?
I guess
I bet you someone, but I bet you
he had the same first name as the other guy. The other guy's name was Guy Cooney.
Okay.
A British technology expert. He was in another reception area preparing for the interview. It was with the court case with the Beatles record label or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess the producer I'm reading this off Wikipedia. The producer sent someone to get the expert guy, and the receptionist, she asked where that other guy was, and the receptionist pointed at Goma, the guy that mistakenly was put on TV. But anyway, I don't think the guy actually it's funny. He actually didn't end up getting the job he came for, and he ended up suing BBC for all the royalties from that video, I guess. So I guess he got something out of it. Now he's pretty famous from it. But it was one of the most bizarre things that I've seen. It was just like,
yeah, and it was hard to watch.
Some receptionist pointed out the wrong guy, and then they got him on TV, and you know what I mean? It was wild, man.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, the first name is the same, but that's still no. You got to do your homework. Excuse me, sir. Specifically, what are you here for? Okay, and whom are you here to see? Okay, those two questions right there. Okay, because if he mentions, well, I spoke to this person, okay, it gives me an idea what you're here for. And tell me what you're here for. One word, an interview. Well, I'm not gonna confuse that with the other guy whose name is guy. So if there are two Bills or two Jimmys or two Sallys, okay, that's still no excuse to whiff like that. I'm sorry, but anyway, it was hard to watch.
The crazy part about it is, he actually did a good job answering the questions. He didn't sound like he didn't know what he was talking about. Like she was talking about like the verdict and stuff in the case, and she's talking about, do you think more people will be downloading online? And he's like, actually, if you can go everywhere, you're going to see a lot of people downloading through internet and the website, everything they want. But I think it's much better for development and to improve people what they want and to get on the easy way and so faster things they're looking for. So it was like his answer, because obviously English wasn't his first language, but his
Uh-huh.
answer was kind of like, it was kind of like it made him sound like he didn't, it wasn't like, it wasn't out of the realm that he wasn't an expert, was what I'm saying. He was giving good enough answers. That's why people in the comments on like YouTube and stuff are talking about like how he did a good job. You know what I mean?
Well, he under the circumstances, he did a tremendous job. He kept his composure. He didn't lose his composure because it would be easy to say, excuse me, miss, why are you asking me this question? Because it would be easy to do this. So he kept his composure, and with the language barrier, he hung in there. Um, but don't you know, the sweetie that was doing the interview kept coming back to him, like real specifically trying to get even further. And he's trying to give general answers to get his ass out of trouble. And she comes back with, oh, no, I need more specific. And it's like, oh my God. I mean, it was like, Jesus Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyway, we
But
got some football coming up. And I know this whole show is not going to be about football, but we got
so
some
wait,
key
so
matchups tomorrow, man. You know that.
we'll talk about that in a second. But what the hell was it? We're on the phone. What the hell did I say about the mozzarella and the pizza? For some reason, you thought that was entertaining as hell, man. What did I say?
Well, yeah, it was just one of these days, and sometimes that you and I speak on the phone at night, and sometimes we'll throw the pods in the ears, and we'll just start shooting the shit. And sometimes a couple hours can go by, and when that happens, usually the conversation kind of devolves into like just the daily minutia or whatever. Oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna. You were standing there, and you were quite relaxed, let's say, as was I that night too on the phone. I mean, we were relaxed and feeling nice and whatever. But you were having this like internal dialogue. I guess you were talking to me too, but you were walking around and it's like you're like, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning or so. It's maybe midnight or something, and you're like, I got a conundrum. Like what do I do here? What do I do here? Do I cook some pizza or do I just eat mozzarella right out of the bag? It was just funny the way you said it. It's like you were serious too. Like, do I just heat up some pizza in the oven or do I just eat some mozzarella right out of the fucking bag? It was just funny to me. And it was so spontaneous. I was cracking up. I was really cracking up.
Yeah,
And really, because it was not only is it funny, but it was like you were trying to decide, I'm working on the defense budget here, and I really have to know how much money I have to allocate to this. It was like you were really serious about, what do I do here? That's all. But
yeah.
you surprised me. I didn't know you were going to bring that up. That was funny.
And what about
Uh,
we since last show we played some basketball, man. Finally got together to play some basketball and throw the football around a little bit.
yeah, we did. I'm glad we had an opportunity to do that. Um, and I must say, you beat me 1-on-1. I wouldn't have guessed that, and so I congratulate you for that. I redeemed myself, though. I won in horse. I didn't even have a letter, I don't think. And then I
Yeah.
won on the
But you were
3-point
doing
shooting.
you were doing some like that's
Yeah.
you're probably better at horse than I am because like you were doing some like you even for your age, you know what I mean? Like you did like this thing where you jump in the air, put the ball between your legs, then like throw it up. Like
Yeah.
you did a couple like then you shot like one some of those shots are almost impossible to duplicate in one try. Like you'll
Yeah.
throw it up behind the basket, it has to go in, it has to go above the backboard and it has to drop in.
Yes.
That one's extremely tough if you don't have
That's all touch. That's the perfect touch. Yeah.
so a lot of the shots in a horse are like very tricky and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I thought you were way better than I thought, man. Like I thought like you would be okay. Like, okay, maybe you could make a couple of shots. But once we started shooting from the very beginning, like you were hitting shots, I was like, oh, you got some game. So I thought, because I
Thank
thought
you,
for some
sir.
reason, like, because you were a baseball player, I was like, all right, this dude, he might be okay at basketball. I mean, let's
Yeah.
just,
Well,
but
that's the whole thing.
you
That's
were
yeah.
way
Go
better
ahead.
than I thought, man.
Well, thank you. As were you, because I remember you telling me on the phone, like, oh, in sixth grade, I won the foul shooting contest and this, and I'm thinking, okay, Skippy, that's real good, but it's the kind of thing. But and you got me, and did you get me because you're that much? I don't necessarily, but you got me, and conditioning is part of the game. And when you play 1-on-1, brah, it's just you. So if you dog on defense, there's nowhere. I mean, it's going to show up. And I was even like some of those long rebounds. I was like, oh, to hell with it, let him have it. I just didn't have my legs under me and I didn't have my conditioning. And anyone who knows you knows that I mean, you do aerobic, you run every day and you're in really good shape. And, you know, you know, you're like a Ford Ranger, you know, and I'm like an F-350, it's just we're different sizes and different. So, my condition plus my age, I got a few years on you too. My bottom line is my conditioning precluded me from playing one-on-one as well as I could. And you were better than I thought. And I gave you open looks and open shots and you hit a lot of them. I was expecting, okay, I'll give it a shot from there. I'm thinking he's going to miss most of those, but no, you didn't miss most of them. You actually made most of them, missed a few, and I was hoping for the inverse. All that being said, I think we both surprised each other, and it was good, and it was fun, and we'll do it again. For me, Sean, honest to God, it was just felt so nice
The funniest part about
to
that
get out
day,
there and play again.
the funniest part about that day is where you told me where to meet you to play basketball, and I drove all the way there, and then like as I get there, there's like no basketball courts, and you're telling me like you were here 2 weeks ago and there were courts. So what? Somehow between the time you were there and the time they were meeting for basketball, those courts are like demolished.
Right. And I showed you a picture of, and it was only about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago at the time that it happened, it had only been about 2.5 to 3 weeks since the last time I had been there. So I pull up before you because we're going to meet there. And I pull up before you about 5 minutes before you. And I was there. And as I'm pulling up, my jaw's like hitting my steering wheel. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I could not believe it, dude. Because those courts have been there for a while. And what I'm still hoping is that what they're going to do is resurface because there's a little bit of that place is really well kept, right? And it's part of a bigger club and that kind of a thing. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is they're going to resurface everything and put them back up again. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But I texted you, hey, I can't believe it. No, I didn't text you. I gave you an audio message. And I explained, hey, man, I can't believe it. But they just tore everything's. I can't believe it. They tore everything down. There were two full basketball courts here, and like 4 tennis courts, and they tore it all down since the last time I was here, and it's only been a couple of weeks. So, it was a shock. But we just jumped on the phone. That's one thing about the technology. We jumped on the phone and scouted something else out, and there was something within like a half a mile of where we were. And that court was pretty good.
Yeah, I was very impressed. The fact that they had glass backboards, because you don't see that a lot. Glass backboards like that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I got a joke for you. I heard a good joke. You want to hear a good joke?
All right.
All right. So there was this young lady that goes in. She wants to get a tattoo. So she goes in and she's young and free. She's a little bit like, just like, free spirit and so forth. In the summertime, she's in a sundress and whatever. So she goes in and she says she wants to get a tattoo of Elvis Presley, the face of Elvis Presley on her inner thigh. So the guy says, okay, looks at, okay, well, okay, we can do that. It's going to take about, 25 minutes or so, maybe 45 minutes or so, I think. Okay. So, and like I said, she's free spirit, little hippie-ish type of, she comes up, she goes, okay, I need
Joe, are you there?
Yeah.
I lost you for a second.
Okay, don't scare me like that. So she's a real free spirit and so forth, So she sits on a stool and she lifts up her sundress and she doesn't have any.
No, hold on, Joe, you got. All right, so we had some technical difficulties. It said internet connection is unstable. Joe, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
All right, so please continue that joke. If you want to tell from the very beginning, you can. It's okay.
Yeah, let's tell from the beginning. This way, maybe we can edit something like that, Sean. We'll see what happens. So there's this young lady that wants to get a tattoo of Elvis Presley, and she's young and she's kind of like, I don't know, she's a little whifty, this kind of thing, but she's coherent and okay. So she goes into this tattoo parlor and she says she wants to get a tattoo of Elvis Presley on her inner thigh. So he says, okay. And then the guy says, all right, be about 45 minutes and do this and do that and I'll look good. He says, you have to sit here and you have to sit in this fashion. You have to open your legs and everything like that. Fine. So come to find out, she's got a sundress on, but nothing underneath. So it doesn't bother. The guy's a professional. She's sitting on the stool and she throws her legs open and he goes to work. And he puts this tattoo of Elvis Presley on her inner thigh. I mean, it looks sharp. It really looks good. And he's got his chest puffed out and he's, okay. So she looks down at it and she keeps looking and he's thinking, boy, she really likes it. She looks up and says, I don't like it. I'm not paying for this. He's like, lady, what are you talking about? You don't like it. He says, what are you talking about? She goes, it doesn't look like him. He says, lady, come on. It looks like him. It's a great tattoo. It really is. She goes, I'm not paying for it. God damn it. He says, wait a minute. This is what we'll do, lady. I'll do another one on the other side. Okay. If that comes to your liking, you pay me for one and we're clean. We're done. Okay. She says, all right. So he goes to work on the other side now. Takes him even about 10 minutes longer than the other one. And he wipes his forehead and he's thinking, all right, I did 2 tattoos. I'm only going to get paid for one. All right. That's not a big deal. Or there was nothing else going on tonight. So what the hell? She looks down and she says, I hate it. I don't like it. It doesn't look anything like Elvis. He's like, lady, come on, please. And he finally says, lady, this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. We'll go outside and we'll get the first person that walks by. Bring that person in, give them $20 to identify. If that person can identify either one of those tattoos as Elvis, you pay me for one and we are done. If not, you walk. She goes, I guess that's fair enough. All right, that's fair enough. So the only person walking by out front was this drunk. And he's staggering around a little bit. And guy says, hey, buddy, come here. You want to make $20 in about 20 seconds? He says, hell yeah, let's go. So he brings him inside, stands him right in front of the lady, about 8 feet away. Says to the lady, okay, she's on a stool. Says, okay, lift up your dress, spread your legs. And this guy said to this guy, who is that? And the guy looks and he's holding onto the wall and he's scanning everything and he looks and he says, well, I don't know who the hell the twins are, but that guy in the middle looks like Willie Nelson. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. That's an oldie.
That was a long joke, man. I'm glad. I was getting all nervous when the internet cut out in the first place. I was like, I was got to tell the whole joke again. But it sounds like I don't know how much I paused that pretty quickly, so I don't know how far you even got in the beginning because I couldn't hear you. You're coming in and out, but I'm glad
you can edit. You can slice a lot of this out, and you can put the whole joke back in.
No, I mean the whole joke's in regardless. But I'm saying anyway. I digress. So the Cowboys are playing the Eagles, man. What's your prediction?
I honestly, it's not easy to if this secondary for the Eagles tightens up. I like their chances, but the thing of it is, football is a game of matchups, and like the Washington Redskins, this Commanders, to me they're the Redskins, and that's what they're there. The Washington Redskins always seem to have our number. It's not that they have our number. It's they have a real good coaching staff, and we're so close to home that they match up against us pretty well. They really do in certain ways. And it's one of those things. It's one of those things in sports. And I think the Cowboys kind of do too, because they're in our division. It behooves them to be on to us and to pay a little more attention to us, but they match up pretty well too. So I don't know. I have to say, my short answer is I'm thinking that the defensive secondary is going to tighten up. If the defensive line can get home, the Eagles win the game. If the Eagles don't win the game, it's because that defensive line didn't get home, because it's all going to start there.
The crazy part is the Eagles are only favored by 3. I think the Eagles should be favored. I know they're plus they're at home. I think the Eagles should be favored by at least a touchdown. You saw what the 49ers did to the Cowboys.
Hmm.
Um, we don't, some of the players on our team, like, we have that one guy, Deron Bland. He's got, the man has 3 touchdowns. He's a defensive player. It's pretty insane. He's got 4 interceptions too. So he's been playing pretty good. But then there's like Dexter Lawrence, right? And
Hmm.
he only has 2 sacks. It's, we're like, what are we, 7, 8 games in the season? 8 games into the season, Dexter Lawrence has like 2 sacks. But we have Micah Parsons, you know what I mean? We don't have the other Joker, got hurt for the year. Trayvon Diggs is out for the year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Gallup hasn't really done much all year. Either has Brandon Cooks. Dak Prescott kind of chokes in big games. I realized CeeDee Lamb had a great game last week, but you know, I don't know, man. I just don't see us winning this game unless something crazy happens.
I if you it's all it's two things. It's the second, well, it's a couple things. The secondary tightening up, it's the defensive line getting home.
But like I
And
said,
the
let me
other
say
thing
this real
is
quick. We have a top 10 defense, and we both have top 15 offenses. So categorically, we are ranked pretty highly. But I just think you guys have underachieved all year. I feel like you guys are just really underachieved.
I think you're
I
pretty
can't even
accurate.
tell if you
You're
guys are
accurate.
trying. Sometimes I can't tell if you guys are trying.
I think you're pretty accurate, and that's why when the year started, and then I just thought to myself, as long as they get the W's while they're getting their shit together, that's fine. And that's what they've been doing. They've been getting their W's while they've been slowly getting their shit together. What I do want to see offensively, because Jalen has a deep bone bruise in his shin, and that's really it's really palpable. He's not as mobile as he normally is. But in a way, that's a blessing. Like last week, that kid stood in the pocket and played that position as well as I could ever had dreamed. So, I mean, this thing about, well, you take his legs away and you make him beat you from the pocket, and Jalen says, okay. But I'm just in this particular game with that Joker, you have number 11. I would like Jalen to be on his best mobility, but that's not going to happen. So I would like them to run the goddamn ball and just say, man up, get your pads lower than the guy in front of you, and let's do what we do. I mean, Eagles fly, but Eagles kill on the grounds. That's where they do their killing, on the ground. You know what I mean? So, I mean, ground game, run it out, grind it out. I just don't know if they're going to
That
do
dude,
that.
DeAndre Swift's a beast, man.
DeAndre Swift is very nice, and God bless Sanders that we got. I think he went to Carolina. God bless him. He was a good running back, but no, Swift is nice, and he's a Philly boy too. So that's a great story too. As
Also,
is, yeah.
you guys have another Philly boy too.
I was just going to say it. You took the words out of my mouth. Go ahead. He's on the
Um,
defense. He's a
yeah,
defense.
that dude, Reddick, right?
Yep,
Reddick,
yep, yep.
Hassan Reddick, right?
Hassan Reddick. Yep, he's from Temple, from Philly, all that
He was at
stuff.
I think he was at the. Was he at the Sixers game today? I could have swore they
He
showed him.
was. He was. He
Okay.
was. So we got
Um,
that game. And
so
I know.
basically, the Eagles are favored by 3 points. They're at home. What is your prediction?
All right. So I'm just going to go out on a limb. There's some ifs and buts, but I'm just going to think the way I want it to go too. Of course, I want my Birds to win. Um, I think it's going to, if they run the ball a lot, they're going to shorten the game is what I'd like them to do. I'm looking at something like, 23-17 Eagles.
All right, so you're saying by 6. I'll say Eagles.
And I'm assuming they're going to run the ball a lot. That's what I would do, but go ahead.
I'm saying Eagles 34, 34, 34-20.
Okay. So you got a little, and that could very well happen too, Sean. I mean, we're going to be interesting to see. And I think for the Cowboys, for them, they really want to see where they are. And that's fine too, because, um, you know, we are pretty much anymore. I'm not saying that facetiously. I mean, we're the measuring stick. So, we'll see what happens. Now we got other matchup. We got 4 great matchups tomorrow, Shawnee. I don't know if you're going to wake up for for the
No,
Dolphins and Chiefs.
I mean, Dolphins, Chiefs. No, there's no way I'm waking up for that. There's zero. It's great. It's
I'm
great for
not
the
either.
international. It's great for the international fans in Germany to believe the games in Frankfurt, Germany.
Hmm.
Um, there is zero. That's what I hate about being a Manchester United fan in English Premier League soccer. A lot of those games are on Saturday and Sunday mornings, like way early. And I'm just like, not. I cherish my sleep so much, man. I just want to like just, you know what I mean? Because we stay up late, man. I sometimes I'm. There are nights
That's
where I'm like 3 a.m.
yeah,
3 a.m. could be like normal.
yeah,
It also could be nights where I'm in bed by like 12. Depends on my work schedule. But for you,
yeah.
I know you're up pretty late too, man.
That's why I always like to work the night, the 3 to 11 or similar shift because my body clock is just that way that I just, it's my natural, and they're finding out more and more about that. People have different internal, everyone knows about the circadian rhythm and all that kind of stuff too, but they're finding out there are different types of sleepers. People that like to sleep and go to bed and sleep at 9 o'clock at night and get up at 5 in the morning and whoop-de-doo, it's a great day. And then there's the other type of person like me who enjoys and loves the wee hours of the morning and then likes to sleep till is considered to be late, but it should be late because I got to bed late. So, but if you do that and you're just getting your 8 hours and you're working, what the hell's the difference if you work, 8 to 4 or you work 3 to 11? It depends on what kind of system you have because we're all different like that. Anyway, Dolphins, Chiefs, Bills at Bengals. What do you see happening? Well, first of all, tell me what you see. Pick a winner for Dolphins, Chiefs.
Dolphins, Chiefs, probably the Chiefs haven't been playing that. The Chiefs just lost to the Broncos. Obviously, they're a little bit mad about that, but
Mm,
Dolphins are pretty insane offensively. If
mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill and I don't know, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, I know that running back, a Kane or whatever, how you pronounce his name, is hurt. Um, I can see, I don't know, man. I'm going to pick the Dolphins, but I think it's going to kind of be a high scoring type of game. Dolphins, though.
Yeah, I would lean Dolphins too because the Chiefs have been they've really been, and the couple games they won have been like just barely against some jokers, you know what I mean? So, how about the Bills at Bengals? Give me a winner.
Bills, the Bills, I feel like I've been playing a little bit better lately. The Bengals have also been playing pretty well. Burrow started off really slow because he had an injury, had a lingering injury.
Hmm.
But I believe the Bengals are favored by 2.5 points. And the
Wow.
game is in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So
That
I don't
means
know,
they think
man.
they're half a point
I can
better.
see I can see. Let me look at the Bills. Last week the Bills only beat the Bucks by 6, but it was a Thursday night game. Let me see the Bills' recent schedule, man. I got to make an educated decision here.
Hmm.
They lost to the Patriots. That was the big thing. They beat the Giants. They lost to the Jaguar. I mean, uh, the Bengals haven't been playing well, man. The Bills are such a. I'm going with the Bills, man. I think the Bengals are. It's going to be a good game, but I think the Bills are going to pull it out, man. Josh Allen, I think is going to do something, make it happen.
You see, I don't trust the Bills yet, and what I think is the Bengals are finally waking up. So I'm going to go Bengals. I'm going to go Bengals considerably, like Bengals like by 14 or more. I just
All
feel
right.
that strongly about it. I don't know why. I just do.
You don't
Seahawks.
you
Go
don't
ahead.
think you're gonna count Josh Allen out like that? I mean, the dude's a beast.
Oh, I don't dismiss him. He's a great quarterback, but he's also a gunslinger. He gets in trouble. That team itself in its entirety has at times this year really, really looked bad. And I don't trust that they're back yet. I do trust that the Bengals are back. That's the kind of thing if you look at this game. It's like, which one of these teams, both of which struggled early and looked bad early, which one of these teams' comeback do you think is more legitimate at this point? I just think the Bengals one is more legitimate. I just trust them. I could be dead wrong, Sean. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So you like the Bills, I like the Bengals. Uh, we both agree that the Dolphins should win. Um, and
Oh,
we
would
both
you?
agree the Eagles should win. The only one is Seahawks and Ravens, but go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to do a football all night. We're gonna
No,
be
this is the last one. Seahawks at Ravens.
Seahawks Ravens. Seahawks are just so overhyped, but they're consistent. Pete Carroll's a good coach. But I think recently they haven't had like last week, for example, when they played the Browns.
Hmm.
Yeah, Geno Smith. Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions, man. But Lockett played pretty decent. Dude, I gotta take. Let me see where the game is. This is also a big thing.
It's in Baltimore.
The game's in Baltimore, yeah. Because if it wasn't, Seattle has great home field
Yeah,
advantage at their place. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm taking the Ravens, man. I think Lamar Jackson. They're favored by 6 points, man. I think the Ravens definitely win this. I mean, I can also see the Ravens losing, but if I'm predicting, I'm saying the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with you there because the home field. I think in this one, that would be the determining factor. Would be the home field. I would give that team the nod. Like if the Seahawks were home, I'd probably give them the nod. So that's cool. I just wanted to, if I could, if it's up to you, I would like to do my lyrics now because they kind of have something to do with the football, which we're about to leave the category. But I'd like to do my lyrics now because it ties into the Eagles game tomorrow.
Okay, and I'm sure Ed Harris approves.
Well, I did ask him. He hadn't gotten back to me yet, but no, I'm just saying. Okay. The lyrics are, she came to me like a friend. She blew in on a southern wind. Now my heart has turned to stone again. There's going to be a showdown. That last line, there's going to be a showdown. That's what caught me this week. But it's by the ELO, or what's known as the Electric Light Orchestra. People my age in that era know exactly what I'm talking about. Even music fans like you or younger know what I'm talking about. But if anyone hasn't heard of them, the Electric Light Orchestra was a band in the early to mid to late 70s, all through the 70s and early 80s, with some really, really good music. And what set them apart is their usage of the cello and the violins and things like that. They had a really unique
Yeah, I like
sound.
that song. Mr. Blue Sky is amazing, man.
Yeah, I mean, just there's so much on it that I can't get it out of my head. It's unbelievable. But anyway, they're really, it's great. It's different stuff. So if you haven't heard of them, check them out. But the album is On the Third Day from 1973. And the song is called Showdown. And just this week, I was driving along and I was thinking, oh yeah, this Eagles this week. Oh yeah. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, this is going to be big. It's not the playoffs yet or anything, but I'm thinking this is going to be big. This is going to be a showdown. And it just triggered something in my head because I always loved this song. I used to, as you said, I was a baseball player and I was a pitcher. And I used to, before like key games when it was like a rival team or something like that, I would play this song because it was so cool to get hyped before something like that. But yeah, she came to me like a friend. Look, the way they meant the song, it's about someone having some internal conflict and maybe a relationship coming to an end and so forth and so on. But Shawnee, all of us, we all do this. We'll take a song and sometimes we won't take the annotation, we'll take a connotation of it, like, or our own, how it fits our own, how we can manipulate a little bit and how those lyrics can fit our own life and our own thing, right? So she came to me like a friend. Well, the other team coming in, right? The other team flying in. She blew in on a southern wind. Well, last time I checked, Texas is pretty south. So she blew in, the team flew in. They're flying in from the south. Now my heart has turned to stone again. Now I'm getting ready. I'm myself. I'm getting ready now. I'm starting to get into the whole.
Is that the one?
And then the last line is, "There's going to be a showdown."
Does it go kind of like just? I'm trying to think if I know this one. Does it kind of go like, "There's gonna be a showdown"? Like, is it
yes,
like?
Yes.
Is that
yes.
is okay? Because I definitely heard. I probably haven't heard it more than like 5 to 10 times in my life, but yeah, I definitely know that song, man.
And it's got that kind of feeling where you almost feel like, wow, something's going to happen here. But one more time, let me read it through. She came to me like a friend. She blew in on a southern wind. Now my heart has turned to stone again. There's gonna be a showdown, like you said. But it's really, really cool. Shawnee, thanks for letting me get that in there. What else were you? What else were you thinking? What else did you do this week?
Yeah, so this week I kind of took some rest and relaxation for myself.
Good.
I took
You
off from
need it.
work for a couple days.
Good.
I'm just getting work is kind of becoming very stressful for me. Let's just say that. And I kind of just need some time to figure out my next steps. I might be doing a career change or something. But still, the podcast is still obviously. I would love to do this show with you forever, man, and make it a
Oh
living.
yeah.
But maybe jump on the radio or something possibly someday. But it's just a nice little dream right now to have because we think we're both good at this. But it's one of those things where it's like, you got to get the audience, you have to get your stuff out there. We haven't really done anything to promote the show except
No.
word of mouth and just social media. But yeah, I always look forward on Saturday nights so to answer your question, Joe, I saw a couple movies this week, and I know you said don't talk about this in the show, but I messed around and I saw that Taylor Swift movie in theaters, man. And,
It was tongue in cheek when I said that to you.
Because it's not just one of those things where it's like, her tickets, seeing her in concert in real life is super expensive. It's like $1,000 per ticket, even the nosebleed. So I'm like, let me just go see this concert. I got my ticket for like $9, right? It wasn't part of the AMC subscription, but it was like free. She puts on a good show, but I just don't like her music enough for it to be like great to me. Like I probably knew she played like 40 songs. I probably knew like 15 to 20 songs, pretty well. And like she did like different eras. Like basically the concert went, she did like 5 or 6 songs from each album. It's called the Eras Tour. So different eras of her career. But again, her music is not really geared towards me, like for her to be one of my favorites. She's good, but I like Pink. If I'm choosing pop artists, I like Pink a lot better. I saw Pink. I actually saw Pink in concert. That was actually a good concert, but, yeah, it's just her music a little bit. It's kind of cookie cutter. Some of the stuff is catchy, but I'm much more into rock music like Bruce Springsteen, The Killers, Muse, Foo Fighters, Eagles. You know what I mean? Like Led Zeppelin,
There
Rush.
you go. There you go. Stones.
Tom Petty, Stones, The Beatles.
The Who.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get your point.
I like a lot like rock music better.
Right.
But I can see how she has an appeal, and her songs tell stories and stuff. You know what I mean? And every relationship she's in is like, anyway, so I saw it and it was cool, but it was just like, I don't know if I want to see her. Unless I have a girlfriend who loves Taylor Swift and she wants to go see Taylor Swift.
Right.
It's unlikely that I'll actually go see her unless I got a crazy deal on a ticket or something like that. But yeah, so that's what I did. I saw a bunch of movies this week. No movie was that great. Honestly, every movie's been kind of like, eh. But then I was looking forward to Saturday Night Live tonight, but it's not a live episode. It's back next week. Last week was cool because the Foo Fighters were a musical guest. So, yeah, man, I just, how about you, man? You kind of just enjoying your life right now and just kind of
That's all. Yeah, just the same, chilling, just trying, just enjoy. Like I said to you, not too many days ago, we were talking. It's just like enjoy the little stuff, enjoy the little things. So sometimes we don't see the forest through the trees. You know what I mean? Enjoy the little things, the minutia of every day, all those, the way the sun comes in the window. You know what I mean? I was stopped at a stoplight the other day and I look up and I'm looking through these leaves, Shawnee, some of them are yellow and some of them are red and you know what I mean? And they're shaking a little bit from the breeze. And I'm looking up at that, how beautiful that is. And I'm seeing the cobalt blue sky behind it. I'm thinking like, damn, look at that. I mean, it was beautiful. I'm like, it's free. That's free too. I mean, just the little things, man. Little snacks that you might like, little cheat meals that you might like.
Oh yeah. Before we go,
those kind of things,
Before we go, like today was your cheat meal. So what'd you get the cheat meal?
Oh well, that's an obvious one. It was, as far as cheat meals concerned, it was SOP, standard operating procedure. It was Taco Bell. I just, that's.
I'm still kind of mad at you that I keep telling you how good the nacho fries at Taco Bell for our audience. The nacho fries are freaking delicious. They're good. They're not too crispy. They have it's almost like a classic, like, curly fry. It has that seasoning on it that gives it that taste. And then they give you the nacho cheese sauce to dip it in, but you keep neglecting to try the nacho fries, man.
That's correct. You're absolutely correct, sir. I mean, I will at some point, but it's just, it is. I'm not going to Taco Bell for French fries, brah. I don't go to Five Guys for a taco. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. And I dig it. The seasonings make it different.
That's why
I understand.
That's why I doubted them too, But once you get these fries, and you eat inside, usually eat inside there, so you'll have them nice and hot. I'm telling you, once you dip that seasoned nice fry into that nacho cheese sauce, you're gonna be like, okay, Sean, I knew what the hell this guy was talking about, man. Now I know.
Well, yeah, and now you know what. Now you say, okay, Sean was right. They're good. I was like, okay, so what? What the fuck's the next thing we're gonna? I mean, yeah, it's like okay, but no, I got you, and to that I give you my word that at some point I will try those damn things. But it's at some point because that's not real.
So let me guess.
You know,
You got tonight. You got a Mexican pizza and 5 Doritos Los Tacos Supreme, and then you brought a chocolate chip cookie in with you.
wrong. I brought 2 chocolate chip cookies in with me. So, but yeah, hey, that's
Because I don't
when
know if
you
we talked about this. I don't know if I brought it up on air, but those Wawa chocolate chip cookies are very good.
exactly, and I mean, I carry in. Five Guys really doesn't have dessert, so I carry them in there. I carry them in to Taco Bell, not because they don't have dessert, but I told you before, their desserts are all cinnamon, like laced with cinnamon. Cinnamon this, cinnamon that. There really isn't too much there. And the cinnamon will tear me up heartburn wise. So, if there's a place like that has a dessert that doesn't agree with me or doesn't even serve dessert, that's when I'll bring those cookies in. So, yeah, I'm a creature of habit, but I'll mix it up. At some point, I'll go back to Five Guys or something like that. But eh, what what else is going on?
Not much, man.
Oh, the
So
basketball tournament, but yeah.
wrap up the show.
Hmm.
Trying to think. We don't think we forgot much else. We wanted to jump on air because we said we'll be back maybe about once a month, but you never know what's going to
I want to
happen.
ask you one thing real quickly, though, before we go, if I
Okay.
can.
Yeah.
I want to ask you what you think of this. And you told me about this, and I thought you were kidding because I never heard of such a thing, this in-season tournament. How do you like it so far?
Oh, so I do like the NBA has an in-season tournament. It ends
Hmm.
in December. There's group games, then then there's the playoffs or whatever. It doesn't take away from any of the games in the NBA schedule. It doesn't add or subtract any games. The schedule is still, I believe, is still 82 games, but it gives the players incentive because they make a little money, extra money too. Like the winners get $1 million each, the runner-ups get I think $500,000 each. I think the people make the semifinals even get something, but it's not just about that. For fans going to a regular season game, there's more incentive for the players to suit up. Like a lot of the players like to do load management where they sit out. They don't, people who like spend their hard
Yeah.
earned money to go see a game. Like, oh, Steph Curry's not playing tonight. Oh, LeBron's not playing tonight.
Right, right.
But now with these in-season tournament, there's going to be more competitive games, and these people are going to want to play in every game. Plus, I like the way they did it. Like the home teams have a special city edition
Hmm.
jersey. Plus, they paint the courts differently. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, they paint the courts differently, and it's just something cool, man. I don't know. What do you think about it so far?
I kind of dig it. I still don't know at the end of the day, I still don't know what it would really mean to win the damn thing. But I think it's something that's different. And anytime you do something different like that, and you see the courts that are different, and like what the Denver did with the 5280 and this and this. I mean, it was really, really cool. I actually think our guys, the jerseys I liked, but I think they didn't. Our guys didn't do up the court the way some of these other cities did. That's one thing I was a little disappointed in. That it was
Honestly,
it was different, but it wasn't real elaborate.
you guys play? Did you guys play an in-season tournament game yet?
Oh, I think that was today.
No, that wasn't the in-season tournament. Today was just a regular game.
Oh, okay, okay. There you go. So I had the sound off. You know what I mean? So I didn't know, and that's why I was thinking they had the new jerseys on, which led me to believe that it was in season tournament. That's why maybe I wasn't because I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
so I believe you
okay,
guys
because
play. You guys play the Pistons in the in-season tournament next week,
oh,
Friday.
where here?
Um, it is no, it's at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit.
Oh, okay, because I know I mean I know my city. And I was looking at this thing today and I'm like, well, the Liberty Bell looks cool. And the 76 in the middle is kind of cool. And their uniforms are different with that's kind of, but I thought to myself, wow, this doesn't, and here the whole time. That's why I asked you. But I think two things. It's interesting. And I do think your boy Wemby, I think he's Wembenyama. I'm convinced now. I've seen enough. I mean, this Joker's already like averaging 24 points or something. And you know, I saw he's not average, but I know he scored 24 points the other night, and it's only his first week in the league. And I saw some highlights of him just like doing like alley oops, where it's just like he's almost standing on his tippy toes, just neat stuff. But yeah, I'm impressed. I really am. We'll see if his body can hold up. That's all. But I just wanted to see what Sean felt about basketball before we said goodnight, you
Yeah,
know.
because Villanova, I'm like, really excited because I love college basketball, especially Villanova, obviously, because But
Hmm.
the season starts on Monday. They're playing American University. It's a home game, so we're favored by about 22 points. We have a lot of potential this year. We have a lot of it's like a whole different team. We're ranked 22 in the preseason, but I believe we're going to perform above that. And I like, we have Justin Moore is going to be at full health because last year he wasn't. He was recovering from that torn Achilles. But now we have, we got Tyler Burton, we got Hakeem Hart, transfer from Maryland. We got TJ Bamba, transfer from Washington. Then we got a couple of our guys who got older now, like Brendan Housen. So what I'm saying is Villanova basketball, I'm excited. I'm locked in and I'm ready for that season to start Monday. And it's been a good show, Joe. And we'll be back when we'll be back. And I'm glad for everyone's listening. Joe, you got any last words?
I cried because I had no shoes to wear until I saw a man who had no feet. Good night.
Take care, everyone.